GTS Garage. Today we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to do a product review. And the reason we're going to do a product review is because me and the missus are off soon for our holidays, and on part of that it'll be about a 1700 mile trip all around Scotland. So we're going to do the North Coast 500, which is supposed to be Scotland's version of the Route 66. Apparently takes you all through the coast, and we're also going to be using the guidebook Britain's Best Ride. So it's a book by Simon Weir. I think he's one of the editors for the Ride magazine, and he's basically got two books out. One of them's to do with tours, and the other one's just to do the or highlight the loops and the best roads around the UK. So we're going to be using those as a kind of a map reference point, making sure we hit some of the best roads in the UK, and we're also going to use it to get round Scotland itself and see some of the attractions that Scotland has. We will be camping, so there will be an aspect of it that's going to be rough. We're going to be wild camping for the majority, and the rest of it will be probably hotels or B&Bs, probably B&Bs to be honest. So that's basically it. So this is going to be, as part of that process, we've been buying everything that we need. So it's a slow process. It's also quite bloody expensive to be honest. But we're going through the process of just getting everything that can go on the bike. So we have a tent, we have chairs, we have sleeping bags, we have all that rigmarole that's now got to be put on the bike. Basically I brought some panniers for the bike, which were fantastic. Managed to get them for about 91 quid, excluding postage, which I think was about 11 quid. For a set of panniers and racks, that is exceptional. The bags aren't too big, they're only 22 litre, but there may be a way of getting some cheap top boxes, about 48 litre top boxes, and mounting them to the rack. So that would open up massive amount of space. So that's basically where we're going with that. Now, as part of that process, we got the communicators. Now, we only got cheap communicators. We didn't go out and buy, I think it's like the Cinna 20, you know, £350 odd. We didn't do that. These were a couple of communicators, Bluetooth communicators that we got off the internet, off of Fleabay. And to be honest, for the amount they are, they're fairly good, but there are some drawbacks. So this video is just to go through those, basically the setup, the pros, the cons, and hopefully somebody, if you're in the same position, you're buying them to communicate on a motorbike or a motorbike, you will find the review helpful. Okay guys, we'll talk a little bit about the hats, and the only reason why that is because one of the negatives on it is to do with the style of the hat my missus wears. So my missus has this is my missus's hat. She has a half visor. Basically she has no chin guard or anything like that. She just has a simple visor, and she has some dark glasses on the inside. So that's basically the missus's hat. These designs tend to be fashionable, to be absolutely honest with you, more fashion than function, but it is what my missus likes to wear, and she's an adult, she makes her own decisions. So basically that's the style, and there are some cons or negatives about affixing the communicator to this style of hat, and I'll show you why when I bring you closer. The next style is going to be a flip top lid, which is mine. So this is basically my hat. Basically no problems at all with this one. It's not a pin lock, it doesn't have to be a pin lock. It doesn't make any odds whatsoever if it is. Flip top lid, darkened glasses, it's the usual stuff. Pick these up cheap as chips. But this is my style helmet. This also fits these perfectly. Had absolutely no issue whatsoever with this. Nice, sturdy, and it fits inside under the lip, and it holds. It's got a kind of a lip just beyond it, and it holds on, and it's perfectly good. It's functional. So no complaints with that one. But we will go back to my missus's as we bring them a bit closer. Okay guys, when it comes to the missus's helmet, as you can see, I'll get a torch because you won't be able to see. If you look there, there is a lip, and that is basically the shell of the helmet itself. Because that is perfectly smooth all the way round, there's nothing for the clasp to grab onto, so it just permanently slips off the side of the helmet. So if you are going to buy the type that do fit to the side of the helmet, beware that this style of helmet just has a very smooth inside shell, so there's nothing there to grip onto. Now on the other side, it's got the the lock mechanism that drops the visor down, so there's no room to actually slot it down there either. So this style of helmet, they are not recommended unless you are going to Velcro it. So what you'll get in the pack is 2 communication devices. You'll get 2 of these, which are basically the clips that go onto the side of the helmets. You also get an earpiece and a microphone that plug into the bottom of each device. So you'll get 1 of each of everything. You also get a cable for charging, and I have seen them where they give you a plug, but I didn't get a plug for mine. Okay, so there's basically 3 modes on each device. Basically, you are able to intercom between each other at a distance of 500 meters. You're also able to take telephone calls. You're also able to connect a Bluetooth mobile phone and listen to GPS. So, the way this works is you undo the 2 clips at the front, or undo the 2 screws at the front, and this gives you some leverage on the top. Hopefully you're able to see that. It gives you some leverage on that, and you basically clip that over the helmet, or the side of the helmet, and then you do these 2 screws up, and that secures to that. You then take one of these devices, slips into there, clips up and then up, and that just basically locks into place like so. You then take the connection and you plug it into the bottom. That's basically what you get in the kit. Now let's discuss how they're basically used. You start them by clicking one button down for 8 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what you'll end up with are 2 flashing blue and red lights. Then you press 1 and it will then search for each other, and they will go blue once they're paired. So you'll see that in a second. I'm communicating now. Right, so they are now paired and you'll get a flashing blue light. If you then want to connect to a mobile device, you switch the Bluetooth on your phone when you can remember the password, and get rid of that for a second, and we'll go to settings, and we'll go to Bluetooth. It's turned off at the moment. Turn Bluetooth on. Connected voice and music. Okay, when it comes to listening to music, you just play music on your mobile phone and it comes streaming through here. If you want to turn the music up, you hold it and it will turn the music up. Hold it back, it turns the music down. If you do that to it or that to it, it will skip to the next track. So a fast release for a skip, and then you hold it for volume, and that will go up and that will go down. If you want to take a call whilst on the move, music's going, you just press accept and that will answer the call. If you hold it down, it will cancel the call. And that is about as simple as it gets. So that's basically the setup, that's the functionality. So the pros and the cons, just to wrap up. The pros are, they're very small, they are light, they are easy fix to the helmet unless you've got the style of my missus. And the thing to do is just to look at your helmet before you go out and buy, and make sure that you've got something on the inside for those clips to adhere to. If not, you're down to either Velcro or you're down to double-sided sticky tape. That's not really a negative, because if these are on permanently, then at the end of the day it doesn't matter how you affix it to the hat. You do exactly the same thing with the GoPro. Okay, so that's basically one side of it that I found a bit negative, and that's the fact that I don't want to stick Velcro all over the missus's hat. The second positive is the fact that they're 2 easy buttons. You can get ones like this that have got multiple buttons that can communicate with multiple riders. Now this will communicate with up to I think 5 riders, and you just communicate each in turn. It's not group chat. This doesn't give you group chat. You can only talk to one person at a time, and you just change the rider by pressing the button. So press the button once, you get rider A, press the button B, press the button C, press the button D, and so forth. You can answer telephone calls, as we said, fairly simple. The buttons are big, the controls are easy to use. Even at speed you can do that. Some of the others you can't. Now, another pro is, or another good point is, the communication, the clarity, the voice communication is crystal clear. Up to about 40 miles an hour, and it has to be said, if you are just going to use this around towns and take quiet strolls down the beach with it, or go along the coastline on it, it's perfect. As soon as you get to about 50, it fades. And I'm not quite sure why, if that's just ear placement or if that is something to do with the fact that you just can't keep up with this. The clip's a bit flimsy, the whole thing comes a bit flimsy. To be honest, this is a little bit movie. I don't believe these are waterproof. But again, if you're a dry weather rider or you're a fair weather rider, that's not going to bother you too much.